Hi,
Hi.
I'm Anna Klint, here with
April Gallagher.
my pal, our pal, and this is the inaugural episode of Obstacle Illusion. We're so excited to dive in. Do you want to
Absolutely.
talk about what an obstacle illusion is and actually, or even just tell us something?
Tell you something? Anything?
Tell
Um,
us anything.
well, optical illusion was something that happened by accident one time when I was over at Anna's house. And I obviously was trying to say optical illusion. Um, and accidentally said obstacle illusion. And based on the conversation we were having at the time, it just was like this like aha moment of that's actually an incredible term, like obstacle illusion. So I knew the first time it accidentally came out of my mouth that was something was that there was something to it. And then upon further reflection, I fell in love more and more with it, because so often we think that our happiness is dependent on certain things changing, or that if only this thing would work out this way, then I could be happy, or if only I could get this thing figured out, then I could launch my business, or if this person would just change, then I could do that. So often we have all of these things in our lives, all of these obstacles that we think have to change, or that we think are the reason why something else isn't happening, or why we aren't fulfilled or being what we want. And honestly, those are all illusions, right? It's not the actual event that needs to change. It's not the situation that needs to change. It's the way we're experiencing the situation. It's our thoughts and beliefs and the judgments we have about that need to change. And when we put our focus not on what's going wrong and all of these things that are keeping us from doing what we want to do, but we're more focused on excuse me, more focused on bringing presence into our lives and the practices that we have that change our the way we look at things and change our experience with the thoughts and emotions that we have, then we are actually able to see that all of those obstacles are just illusions. Like, they're not real. And when we change these other aspects of, like, when we tap into who we really are and what we have available within us, all that other stuff falls away. And so I think it would just be fun to explore that. What are the practices? What are the obstacles that we're facing? And just play with it. So that was my experience. But what was your experience?
I remember.
What's your thought?
Yeah, totally. Well, one, I remember us falling out laughing when you said obstacle illusion, because it was
Right.
moment, because we understood exactly the context of what the optical illusion was, and at the same time we both got it immediately, like, oh my god, this is the story of my life. All I do is create these obstacles, and really, it's only an obstacle because of how I'm perceiving my reality. And so it was just pretty funny in the moment, I gotta say. It was good. Yeah, and totally, I absolutely agree with everything that you said. And just what is it, or what's our tagline again? I can't remember. Seeing through your roadblocks
To live a life of freedom.
To live a life of freedom. Exactly. Right. And so it's which is so beautiful, because these obstacles, they really are illusions and elusive based on our perception. And so we don't have to go over them, go around them, do all of this hard work of all of this maneuvering through time and space. It's like we actually need to revision, see how, change the way we see things, and that changes our experience of reality, right? And
yeah,
it's super easy. Actually, it's super simple.
Right, that's the word. It's
It's
super
super
simple,
simple, but not always
not
easy.
always easy. Which I think is what this is about, right?
Hmm.
So these series of conversations are, I mean, the idea behind this is just that we enjoy spending time with each other. This is another excuse to spend time with each other. Often in our conversations, like, we should be recording that. So now we're recording it. But I mean, this is a work in progress, but with the idea that we'll have some framework and structure of topics, but really looking at what are the tools
Hmm.
that one needs to have in their backpack, need, like,
Could
yeah,
use.
could use. What are some tools that one could use to really um, do what you were talking about, revisioning, and when you change the lens and change the way you're seeing these obstacles and recognize that they're not blocking you, but
Hmm.
they're like stepping stones, right? Like, it's
Right.
actually um, within it contains like the key to your freedom, right?
Hmm.
But you
Yeah.
have to be willing to see it and to take your power back, and
Yeah.
to receive the AFGO. You
The
want to tell us
AFGO.
what an AFGO is?
I did not make this up, so I cannot take credit for this, but if you have small children listening, you may want to avert their ears. However,
Or you could probably just use.
I'll make it somewhat child safe and just say that an AFGO is another effing growth opportunity,
Mhm. And
which is what you're talking about, right?
yeah.
This idea of like in that obstacle that we have created or that we are facing, maybe legitimately, like, there's other circumstances that created that obstacle,
Hmm.
but no matter how it got there, it's there in your path. And what you're saying is, like, within it, it's like I'm envisioning it like this, like almost like a geode, right? It's like this big
Yeah.
boulder. And then you can like see through it with your x-ray vision, and then you see like it's a sparkly, glistening, city of, gemstones or something kind of magical. And in that space, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, that's who I am. Or like, that's right. I used to have this power in my life, or I used to be able to see
Hmm.
things in this way. And then it's just like, oh yeah, okay, boom. Now it's a stepping stone.
Right. Right. And so over the course of this, we'll talk about that, and kind of
Mhm.
the attitude that one needs to have, and the openness, and the,
Yeah.
what's been useful for us, what's been useful for our clients,
Hmm.
what if we tried and aren't having such success with. Um, and this doesn't really relate to anything, but whenever you say AFGO, I kind of in my mind do it like the Aflac thing. So I was like,
Totally.
AFGO. So it's like, I feel like
Yes.
this is AFGO.
There will
Uh,
definitely be some sound effects during this series coming from our mouths, not from your mouths. Not digital.
hopefully.
Yeah, maybe there's other places they could come from. Hopefully the earbuds are far enough away. But we want this to be value added. Like, one, this is a way for us to, work out things with each other. And but mostly, like, it's just like a way to have fun and, like, kind of poke fun at reality. Like, what is this reality thing? Like, sometimes it's kind of crazy. The
Poke,
reality we
yeah.
get.
Poke fun and poke holes, right? So that we
Yeah.
can see through and actually have a more expansive and I mean, we say see through your roadblocks to live a life of freedom. So to really open up that reality, so that these you're no longer confined by these
Yeah.
roadblocks, no longer confined by these thought patterns and belief systems, and just other patterns in general.
Mhm.
This, especially this pattern of giving our power away, like,
Totally.
what can we do to bring that back?
Totally. Maybe we should talk about that next, like how that shows up. This, like, giving your power away and the
Okay.
obstacles around it. Okay, stay tuned.
For giving your power away and the obstacles around it. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.